Okay, let's talk about one of the most common, most frustrating things in the world of health and fitness. That stubborn bit of belly fat that just refuses to leave. We're going to get into the real science of why that is and, more importantly, what you can actually do about it.
Does this question hit a little too close to home? You know, you're doing all the right things. You're trying to eat better, you're hitting the gym, but that fat around your midsection seems to be locked down tight. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not a willpower problem. It has everything to do with your body's internal chemistry.
I want you to think about your belly fat like a heavily guarded safe. It's just packed with stored energy. Now, the key to opening it isn't some new diet fad or magic pill. The key is actually a primal switch, something that's already built right into your DNA. We just kind of forgot how to flip it.
So, to understand how to use that key, we first need to meet the two guards who are controlling the lock on that safe. These are two incredibly powerful hormones, and they're basically directing traffic inside your body 24/7. All right, meet guard number 1, insulin. The second you eat anything, carbs, protein, you name it, your body releases insulin. Think of insulin as a very strict traffic cop. Its command to your fat cells is loud and it is clear. Store everything. Lock it all down. Nothing gets out. So whenever insulin is on duty, that fat-burning door is slammed shut and locked.
Now, insulin is the storage guard, but it has an arch nemesis. Meet guard number 2, glucagon, the release guard. Glucagon's whole job is to unlock the safe and let that stored fat out to be used for energy. But here's the most crucial point, and if you remember one thing, remember this. They are total opposites. They cannot be on duty at the same time. As long as you're eating and insulin levels are up, glucagon literally can't do its job. It's sidelined.
So, the big question is, how do we get the storage guard, insulin, to finally go off duty so the release guard can come in? Simple. We just give our body a break from eating. Let's take a look at what actually happens inside your body hour by hour when you start to fast.
This timeline is absolutely fascinating. You know, for the first few hours after you eat, you're just burning that food. No big deal. But then, right around the 8-hour mark, your body's short-term fuel tank, that's your liver glycogen, starts to run low. And that's the signal. By 12 hours, you hit what scientists call the metabolic switch. Your growth hormone spikes, like way up, to protect your valuable muscle. And then, by hour 16, you're in a deep fat-burning state. Your body even starts making ketones, which are this amazing, super clean fuel source for your brain.
But wait, it gets even better. Right around that same time, this incredible process called autophagy kicks into high gear. The best way to think about it is your body's ultimate spring cleaning program. Your cells literally start going around, finding old, junky, damaged parts and recycling them. And hey, this isn't some health fad. The research behind this process was so groundbreaking, it won the Nobel Prize in Medicine back in 2016. It's your body's own built-in rejuvenation system.
Now, when we talk about burning belly fat, it's so important to understand that we are actually fighting a battle on two different fronts. Why? Because not all fat is created equal, not by a long shot.
So on the surface, you've got subcutaneous fat. That's the soft, pinchable stuff right under your skin. And yeah, it might bother you when you look in the mirror, but from a purely health perspective, it's pretty harmless. The real villain here is visceral fat. This is the nasty, hidden fat that's deep inside your abdomen, wrapping around your vital organs, like your liver and your pancreas. It's a metabolic disaster zone, constantly pumping out inflammatory chemicals that drive almost every major chronic disease.
And here's the truly amazing part. When you fast and lower your insulin, your body is incredibly smart. It preferentially targets that dangerous visceral fat first. It goes after the bad stuff. Studies from major universities show that people who practice time-restricted eating lose way more of this harmful fat than people on a standard diet, even without counting a single calorie. Look at that difference.
Okay, so the science is clear. It all makes sense. But how do we actually put this into practice in our crazy, busy lives without feeling totally overwhelmed? Let's get into a super simple, practical action plan.
Probably the most popular and honestly the most sustainable way to start is with a 16-8 method. It's so simple. You just fast for 16 hours, and you eat all your meals in an 8-hour window. So for example, you could finish dinner by 8 p.m. and then just not eat again until noon the next day. You're basically just skipping breakfast. And yeah, during that fasting window, water, black coffee, and plain unsweetened tea are your best friends. They won't break your fast.
Now, I know what you're thinking. The second we start talking about skipping meals, the alarm bells go off, right? And the biggest myth out there is that fasting will crash your metabolism and throw you into so-called starvation mode. But you know what? The science shows the complete opposite is true. These shorter fasts, like 16 hours, don't slow your metabolism down. In fact, because you get this rise in fat-burning hormones like norepinephrine, your metabolic rate can actually increase by up to 14%. Think about it. Your body is smart. It's ramping things up to give you energy to go find food, not shutting down to die.
Okay, here's the other big one, especially for anyone who works out. Muscle loss. You work so hard to build that lean muscle, and the last thing you want is for your body to start gobbling it up for fuel. It's a valid concern.
But remember that huge spike in human growth hormone we saw back on the timeline? Well, that's your body's own natural muscle-preserving steroid. It essentially wraps your lean tissue in a protective shield, telling your body, hey, leave the muscle alone. Go burn that fat over there instead. It's an unbelievably elegant system.
So let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. Why is this simple adjustment, just changing when you eat, so incredibly powerful? Well, it's because you're not trying some new biohack. You're actually tapping into your body's oldest, most fundamental programming.
You know, this idea is anything but new. Literally thousands of years ago, Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, understood this. He knew that giving the body a rest from the constant work of digestion was essential for it to heal itself. This wisdom is ancient.
Our genes were programmed for a world of feast and famine. Our ancestors did not have a pantry and a refrigerator with 24/7 access to food. Their bodies evolved to be incredibly good at storing energy when food was around and then efficiently burning that stored energy when it wasn't. The constant grazing that we think of as normal today, that's the modern experiment. That's what's not natural.
So when you really get down to it, this isn't about punishing yourself or some brutal battle of willpower. It's about finally starting to cooperate with your own body. All you're doing is removing this artificial seal that our modern lifestyle has placed on your ancient genes, and you're just letting your body do what it was always designed to do.
When you start working with your hormones instead of constantly fighting against them, you're not just losing weight, you're actually restoring your body's natural, intended rhythm. So, what do you think? Are you ready to stop fighting your body and finally use the key it's been holding for you this whole time?